fake Pac valve springs that are coming from China. What you need to know, we're going to talk about it. We're going to show you some stuff. Stay tuned. All right, so these been just, I've made some videos on this deal multiple times, but it just seems like just everybody's not seeing the information, and they're still getting duped. And I get calls and customers constantly that are buying fake Pac valve springs from Amazon, eBay, from their buddy that's hooking them, from their install guy that's lying to them. And this junk is breaking, some of it immediately, some of it a day or two down the road, and it's killing engines, and people just don't know how to tell the difference. So we're gonna go over it one more time, and I'm gonna show you how to know, for the most part, if you have a real Pac valve spring or if you have some of this Chinese nonsense. So, and let me preface that by saying, the Chinese can make super nice stuff. I promise they can. We buy a lot of it. And I'm sure that they can make good valve springs. The problem is the Chinese manufacturers don't care. They don't have a dog in the hunt. So when somebody wants something made for dirt cheap, they're happy to do it. They're happy to make something for super dirt cheap that's absolute garbage. And that's how it works. So you can buy stuff from China that's absolutely great, it's spot on, it's good stuff, and you'll have to pay something for it, or you can buy just absolute garbage and it'll be all over the place like these junky valve springs, and that's why they cost $35 on eBay. So we're gonna start with, so I done a video, we'll link it. I done a video comparing Chinese Pac 1218s to real Pac 1218s, and I showed you the difference. And then just for giggles, they got a LS6 spring, and I bought some, again, just for comparison, just, to show you what the deal is. And then, unfortunately, I am out of 1218s, but this is a Pac 1219. It's essentially the same exact spring with a little more rate. The size, the visual, it's all the same thing. So, if you will look, come on in here. If you will look, so number one, here's your, Wong Fu Poo 1218. Obviously, this is not a Pac box. It's clearly from China. These are clearly from China. It says right on it, we are made in China. So that's number one. If you look on the Pac box, you're gonna have, obviously, this is a Pac box, made in the USA. It's got a part number, it's got a date of manufacture, it's got a lot number, and that lot number will tell you, it'll tell, Pac can tell what material was used in this lot to make this spring. So, and I'm not saying that China can't copy the box, but obviously if it doesn't come in this box with all of that information, then it's not a real Pac spring. Number two, if you will look at a Pac spring, it is a nice brown hue. You don't see no nasty grinding marks on the faces where the spring was parallel ground. It's ovate wire. It's a no-brainer. They're packed nice. They're not just through in a box. This is a real Pac spring. I am a real authorized Pac distributor. You can call Pac and verify. So if you buy a Pac spring from me, it is a real Pac spring from Michigan, made in the USA. These springs, on the other hand, as you can see, I mean, man, look at the, I mean, they are just super dark. And the problem, and we don't know, I'm gonna send some off and just see what they're made out of. But valve springs are made, for the most part, out of chrome silicon wire. And you can see how dark these things are, and it's a dead giveaway. All these freaking Chinese springs are just black. They don't have any idea how to heat treat the spring. It's possibly not even chrome silicon wire. I have never seen anybody's valve spring that's that dark. And I'm sure that that's why the cycle life is so low. They're probably haven't been tempered, and they've just got so much stress in the wire that that's why they break. And it don't take long and they snap right in half. I mean, we had a guy walk in the other day and he bought some and he thought he was buying Pac, but they wouldn't. And it was this spring right here, and literally he got the car crunk up and made it 2 miles down the road, and a spring broke and dropped the valve and murdered his brand new engine. And I mean, if you think that you can get a set of American-made valve springs for $35, heck, if you think that you can get any valve spring that's actually any good for $35, you have fell down and hit your head, because it is impossible. It's just not possible. But so these, and we done a video on it, and I don't even remember which one, but one of these springs right out of the box is like a 1/4 inch shorter than the rest of them. And I don't know which one it is, but we was pulling them out and checking pressures, and we found one, and like I say, it was almost a 1/4 inch too short. So it's like, you know, there's no QC. I mean, no QC is happening. So that spring right there is shorter than all the rest. Let me grab some calipers. So it's like 2/176 free length. And that's 2 2/70. So it's 100 thousandths. It's 100 thousandths short right out of the box. I mean, that's just absolute garbage. There's just no way that can work. I mean, it just can't work. So we'll look at these 560 deal. And I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, I paid like $35 shipped to my door. And I mean, it's the same thing. They don't look as bad as far as the color as these, but again, you know, you can see that they're just dark. They're super dark compared to that. And, you know, they're just trying to copy something. And actually the pressures compared to, there was some variance, but compared to a Pac, the pressures were pretty close initially, except for the one that was 100 thousandths short. Obviously it was jacked up, but the base pressure is good. But again, if your valve spring won't make it to the stop sign, you know, it don't matter if they paid you $100 to put them on if they can't get to the stop sign. But, you know, but again, it's just, you just need to know what you're buying. I mean, just, this is the deal. And people keep arguing, and some people think, I mean, there was a big old episode on our business Facebook page. You know, people are saying that Pac springs, real Pac springs are breaking. I mean, I have been a distributor for Pac for going on, I don't know, 7 years now, 7 or 8 years. And, you know, we were, it's down now, but we were doing $75,000 to $100,000 worth of springs a year to people we know. I mean, we're selling to shops, we're selling springs and cam kits, and you know, we sell a ton online. And if these springs were breaking Like these springs, I mean, these just, I'm not saying they can't break. Of course they can break. Anything can break. But I'm telling you that if these springs are breaking, nobody has called me. We had one guy that called me and said that he had done murdered about 3 or 4 springs. And we went through some stuff and it shouldn't have been a problem. And I told him, I said, just pull the springs off and send them back to me. He was just 2 or 3 hours in Georgia. And I said, send them to me. So he ended up driving over and he brought his heads and the springs, and we done a little math, and you could see it plain as day in between the wire. They had been stacking, and so it had marked them up. And what had happened was when they set up the installed height, they had the wrong length valve basically, and it was stacking the spring, and they was driving this thing around with the springs completely in coil bind, and only a handful of springs broke. And luckily it didn't drop a valve. They wound up, but it didn't drop a valve and didn't hurt the motor. But you know, to me, that says a lot when you're riding around in coil bind and didn't break but a couple of springs. So we got him the right length valve and got his installed height right, and you know, he's riding and no more issues. So again, I'm not saying that they can't give a problem, but we just have not seen it. We have seen 0 issues. Man, for the Hemi platform, we were selling a premium 1211X spring, and we were selling just that spring for probably 3 years in a row. Man, we sold $30,000 or $40,000 worth of just that spring a year for probably 3 years in a row. And I have never, you know, our name's all over the box, all over the packaging. Nobody is calling me saying this stuff is breaking. It's just not happening. So to me, unless you can show me that that's happening, that's just pure fantasy land to me. It's just not happening. But just be aware, again, if your spring is black and it costs $35, it is not a Pac spring. It is not made in the USA. So do yourself a favor and don't put this crap on your motor, because it's gonna cause you problems. That $150 you saved or $175 you saved is gonna cost you 10 times that when your motor destroys itself. All right, I'm gonna get off my soapbox, but I just wanted to just hit this one more time, because there's, like, you know, I posted a picture on our Facebook page of a guy that had dropped a valve with this same scenario, you know, and he thinks he's got Pac springs, and there's 400 and something comments, and a bunch of people's like, yeah, Pac brakes, you know, and they just don't know what they're talking about, and they're just making stuff up. And so I want to just try to put it to bed. So there it is. We appreciate you watching. Like, share, subscribe. Check out, if you want real Pac stuff, check out the website, PowellMachineInc.com. We got plenty of it on the shelf. 1218 should be back in here next week or something, I hope. This is Thanksgiving weekend. Y'all have a good Thanksgiving. We'll see you on the next one.